the seeding is, it's just for administration purposes.
It's going to be some good Rocket League. None of these players are really that much higher than the others, but there's an early goal for Herriman High starting out early. I believe you said the 7th seed, right?
Most certainly, almost as if on cue. Almost as if they were looking to prove my point correct. And here's the thing, right? 1-0, 2-1, 3-0, whatever. Those are the sorts of score lines that you'll be expecting to see in 3v3. Here in 2v2, we're looking at the scores to balloon. So an early score, although obviously not great for Franklin High School, Squillis, it's not the end of the world. Let's put it that way.
No, it's definitely not. Twos is such a volatile back and forth that in a lot of, like, here we have a good scoring opportunity. It's quick. It's lightning fast. Twos is a very, very aggressive play style, more aggressive than threes is. I am expecting this to get tied up before the end of the match for sure.
Nice pass back here. Coop is going to be denied by the Don. And the Don goes over the top of Sink, and NIGHTSHADE's going to throw it to the midfield. And obviously Herriman High, as much as they've defended well now, they'll be looking to try and score a second, get a bit of daylight between these two sides. X-Sync, of course, it's the complete opposite. They want to go down the other end. They want to tie things up. X-Sync doesn't dupe NIGHTSHADE, and Don MEGGA gets a demo. It's all open for NIGHTSHADE, and there is that second, or so I thought! Oh, they fumble it, and X-Sync with a save away.
That is an incredible save. This is going to be such an awesome series, man. This is already so back and forth. These guys are looking at some great mid passes. I'm seeing demos already. I'm excited for this series. This is going to be good.
It's unfortunate, really, but you gotta put them away. I do hope that it doesn't bite Herriman High in a little bit, but to be fair, this is a great direct run from Don MEGGA going for the top beans. It's another save from X-Sync, putting up the X-Savior medal. But is X gonna give it to you, Herriman High? Here he is down the other end, shot on target, save up, but not far away. Coop latches onto it, 1-1.
It's like you were saying earlier, it's one bad touch and you're scored on. And that, unfortunately, NIGHTSHADE is just not going to get a favorable touch for his teammate, and he's just going to accidentally put it floating back down in the middle of his net, straight for Coop to bang to the back of his net.
That flub is going to come back to bite them, but NIGHTSHADE off the kickoff! Easy as you like, 2-1!
I was going to call this out on the first scoring drive where they scored in, I don't remember, maybe 7 seconds. That cheating play in twos is so much riskier than it is in threes. If you go for boost there, there's a chance that you get back to net and save that. If you're cheating, it's just over you when you're beat. Cheating in twos is a lot more risky than it is in threes. I'm curious if that continues the rest of the series or just this game.
Oh, and it's a third as well. I think I agree with you completely, mate. There is no opportunity to spread out wide in rotation. You have to stay close, but also not too close to your partner in crime. Otherwise, those passing lanes, or I guess more in the 2v2 case, the driving lanes are far more open. It's far more threatening. And Franklin High School, they've done well to get an equalizer out this game, but at 1-1, things were looking good. At 3-1, Herriman High in a position that they are surely delighted with. That said, Franklin High School, X-Sync, some excellent aerial prowess here. And look, we've still got line share with 3 minutes left, Squillis. It's a 1-goal game again.
I mean, this is what I was saying. It's very back and forth. It's very volatile. I think that last goal was a bit of a fluke. I think Coop called that he had it, missed, and X-Sync was caught off foot. Not to say it was a fluke, but to say that it was a bit of a miscommunication. And then for X-Sync to... Okay, maybe it was not a fluke. NIGHTSHADE is here to prove me wrong this time. This 7th seed team has come with a lot to prove tonight.
Yeah, Coop just a little too aggressive there, runs back around, but by the time he reaches the ball, NIGHTSHADE is already there. The shooting opportunity opened up in front of him, and it really was, I would argue, a more difficult shot than it looks, but as long as you do get it on target, that's going into the back of the net, baby. Herriman High back to that 2-goal advantage then. And Franklin High School, they've got to shore up a little bit more defensively, Squillis, I feel. Otherwise, this might start to roller coaster. However, you know what? They've just decided to fight fire with fire. Completely shut me up. It's a 1-goal game yet again.
I feel like maybe we should just be quiet for the rest of the game and see how these players would play without us jinxing them the whole rest of the match. I mean, this is just crazy. This is, what, 3 times now that we've said something and immediately the opposite has happened?
It was an aggressive play, though. I do want to point out, it was a very aggressive play from Coop. It does pay off, but you miss that demo, then surely that shot, as on target as it might well be, is going to find it a little bit more difficult to reach its intended target. Dom MEGGA going for the return, not going to find a demo, but NIGHTSHADE completely dunks on X-Sync. Franklin High School simply cannot recover this 2-goal disadvantage.
I mean, that's just an unfortunate 50. He did such a good job demo dodging there, but he couldn't get the ball. Like, there, I think your best bet is to try to get under it and flick it up, but he just couldn't get that ball control. He just couldn't get out of the way. That 50 is just going straight in his right side. It's just unfortunate. It's a bad 50, but I have faith that they can regain and make the series close.
One more time on the board, and Coop wins back the ball. X-Sync, ooh, saucy. How about the Dom MEGGA? Going to get his way past him as well, but loses possession in the meantime. X-Sync looking towards the net. NIGHTSHADE meets him. Coop goes for a shot on target. Dom MEGGA in the right place, but doesn't get the clearance. Oh, what a bump away from Coop. X-Sync in sync with his teammate, and once again, 1-goal game.
I mean, this is just a textbook twos play. That is beautiful. That bump was amazing. I think that this might be a little bit of some first game nerves we're seeing here from the second seed team. I think as soon as they start warming up defensively, we might see them break out with a lead, maybe later this game, next game.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I think aggressively speaking, in that final third, the quality of the shots they're creating, the actual creation chance itself, XG as we would call it in soccer, it looks a lot more convincing to me just by eye value than what we've seen from Herriman High, which is very much dunk here, win in the midfield there, capitalizing on mistakes being made by the Franklin defense. Point still stands though. Franklin High School, 1 goal still to find, and that's just to make it to overtime. Let us not forget, if you are watching Rocket League for the first time, and how about this for a pitch? Can Coop get back? Sorry. He's going to be able to make it, but yes, if we do make it to 0 seconds on the clock, and we do find ourselves at a tie situation, then we're going to overtime, golden goal situation, and as it stands, Squillis, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean, this was a beautiful clear in corner. It's a good pinch. Don's awkward. I don't know if maybe his teammate didn't know he was awkward. Maybe he thought he was hitting it because he went into corner too. Usually that's not the greatest rotation there. Could just be a miscommunication, but we have a tie game, and it's looking good for the rest of the series. I'm excited for these two teams to keep going.
Yeah, that's a shame. Same brain, no talk, and Franklin High School have flipped the script. It's burning away. 6-5.
I mean, this is just kickoff after kickoff after kickoff this game. It honestly feels like whoever wins the kickoff is going to score the next point. And it's looked like that 4 or 5 times now with the 11 goals total scored in game 1. This is going to be a very, very high-scoring series, I think.
It's got to be a real kick to the morale for Herriman High. The first time in the 5-minute period that they've actually ended up trailing. You know, this is a real difficult situation, and when you're in difficult situations, you got to put away chances like that. NIGHTSHADE, it trickles up and away off the post. 30 seconds now to recover the situation.
I mean, that was just an unfortunate shot. I think it was a... Oh, there it is. X-Sync out of the corner, sees that ball coming to him. I think that might be the end of this game. It is always possible to make 2 goals back, 12 seconds each, but that was just a beautiful pass from Coop. Straight to X-Sync in midfield, right into the bottom corner.
I think your early analysis was spot on, Squillis. I think it was absolutely spot on. Early game nerves, looking to get into the groove, maybe coming in a bit cold. But once they got up to speed, things looking a heck of a lot better for Franklin High School. Just looking to burn time off the clock, or alternatively find an 8 that really would put this one to bed. It's a flick away, and X-Sync deals with it. I wouldn't say a masterful recovery job here from Franklin High School, but a recovery job it was nonetheless. Perhaps against the run of play, they go 1-0 up in the series. The game, that's nasty. That's really nasty. And Franklin High School got better and better and better and better as those 5 minutes elapsed. Now, if we see Franklin High School take the win here in game number 2, I'm thinking potential sweep territory. That said, I certainly hope that Herriman High show that they got more tricks up their sleeve here in game number 2.
I definitely agree with you. I think losing this game here for Herriman would be detrimental. I think their mental already is pretty low, and that's in. That's unfortunate. That is just such a weird play out of corner there. It looked like maybe a pull shot, potentially. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Tee up. And
beautiful
away
shot.
you go. Great drive from the back line. Franklin High School with the early lead, and that could not have gone any worse for Herriman High. Got to feel bad for the Don MEGGA as well. Ended up having to readjust his car and then do a full 180 flip over to get back facing in the right direction. Exik now looking to put more pain into the wound here. Don MEGGA with a save. Coop back into the center. Don MEGGA away upfield. Doesn't find NIGHTSHADE though. Exik too quick. NIGHTSHADE back. A demo on Don MEGGA. It's 2v1. And that almost felt inevitable.
I'm a bit worried about these 30 points I predicted.
Me too.
We're already 30 seconds of goal, but they're not going evenly. It doesn't look like. Hopefully, I think Herriman, as soon as they realize that Franklin is very much so cutting off their aggressive rotations, they're going where the other team is looking to pass, and they're cutting that off very well. I think if Herriman High realize that they can probably solo play. What a goal! Holy.
You're expecting him to rip it, and then he doesn't. He just waits and goes for the hit on the floor. It's more of a dunk off the floor, actually. Spikes back up, goes over NIGHTSHADE, who was in the right position, but being in the right position still doesn't guarantee you the save at the end of the day. And this is the biggest scoreline between either of these two teams, and it goes the way of Franklin High School within the first minute. 3-0, it could be about to get worse. Oh, X-Sync! My goodness!
That was amazing! That was an incredible flick. Over one, he sees him demoing, so he has to flick early. That was beautiful. He couldn't have placed that any better. They're locked. They have locked in. This is a Franklin High match, I think, already. 4-0 is hard to come back to. Herriman High can do it. They scored 5 last game, but it is looking kind of dire for the Herriman High team right now.
It's the micro as well that I really appreciate on that play, because X-Sync has to slightly adjust his car so that when he gets the flip, it goes slightly leftward bound, as opposed to straight forward, which is, again, where the defender was. They were in the right place, but it was the proactivity from the attacker that makes the difference. And really, proactivity for me, Squillis, is the word of the day. How many times in that last game were we talking about how Franklin High School, perhaps in that final third, were looking better than what Herriman High were producing down the opposite final third? And in fighting fire with fire, it's getting a little too hot here for Herriman High.
For sure. I think the shooting power from both X-Sync and Coop are probably outmatching the individual skill of NIGHTSHADE and Dawn this game. But I think if Dawn and as soon as I'm trying to talk about it, hoping that they can get some team synergy here, X-Sync is going to see Coop's pass through both of them and just put it bottom right. That is unfortunate timing. I'm done jinxing the teams. I've done it so many times already.
Well, you can see there you're caught in two mindsets if you're Don MEGGA, because you either go ultra aggressive and you risk the ball ending up somewhere else where you're not, and you know that your teammates probably not going to be either, or you stay conservative and you're asking for another 2v1 scenario. It just keeps on turning into a landslide against Herriman High here. And despite Don MEGGA entering the picture here at the midfield line, Coop's going to get it to the backboard. It's an oversell, though. A rare oversell from Franklin High School. Don MEGGA gets one on the board. A splash indeed, but will it be big enough to overturn this Franklin High School confidence?
This is a lot of what we saw last game, too. Like a wide net after an overcommit on offense, leaving the Franklin High net kind of wide. Maybe Herriman High can get some passing plays together and really start scoring together. Or maybe they can keep punishing on these mistakes. It is definitely possible to score 4 times in 2.5 minutes.
Well, Franklin High School scored 5 times in 2.5 minutes, so the facts check out. But Herriman High have to make sure that the 6th doesn't go in, and that is exactly what's happened. Almost a bit of a Salt Bay pinch here from Coop.
It's exactly what you were saying earlier. You just expect him to rip it. He doesn't. He puts it mid. You've already jumped corner. That's just so unfortunate. That's a good read of the defender. A beautiful touch to the middle of the net. You can't ask for a better shot on net right there.
And just when those roots of confidence were starting to sprout and flourish, put back in their place, Franklin High. And now they're starting to get angry, Herriman. Perhaps a little bit too late in the day to start demoing. Oh, and bumps on teammates as well. You never like to see that, especially when you've only got one of those available for support. Coop on the backboard, going to move out to the midfield here. Sees X-Sync waiting, lying in wait, but not receiving the ball ultimately. Don MEGGA with the interception. Quite frankly, though, Squillis... Franklin I was going to say they can start to burn time off the clock. Maybe a more prudent strategy than one that would imagine, especially since Herriman High have preyed upon a mistake here and found themselves a second. Nice finish.
This is exactly what I was talking about. If they can look for each other and they can start developing these passes. I mean, who's in the Octane? I think that was yeah, NIGHTSHADE. NIGHTSHADE was pre-jumped for Don's pass out of corner. That's an incredibly hard shot to hit, but if they can get those, what are you supposed to do as Franklin High? Who do you read? Which one, the ball or the teammate? It's hard in twos especially to read passing plays that close to net. If they can keep turning those out, this will be a much closer series.
90 seconds minus a bit of change here on there then for Herriman High to try and find for a tall task as every second goes by. It's a decent clearance here from NIGHTSHADE, forces Coop all the way back, gets a pinch. Wow, great execution on that, and Xing going to complete the transition all the way to the other backboard. Coop on target, save away Don MEGGA. Xing with the 180 manages to find its way through the eye of the storm. 7-2, 60 exactly left on the clock.
This is a good save by Don. NIGHTSHADE, unfortunate double commit. It might have just been not called. He might not have had faith. Whatever it was, left their goal open. NIGHTSHADE looked for the squishy, couldn't find it. And that is going to be 7-2 in the second game. Looking much better than the 7-5 we saw.
Most certainly. And again, looking ominous for Herriman High. Oh my goodness. Xing had the Don MEGGA on a fishing hook. And he did fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Easy challenge. Rolls over the top of Don MEGGA. Herriman High got a big task on their hands here to deny the full sweep in the series.
They do, for sure. It is hard going down 2 in a high-scoring game. It is very hard going down 6 in a high-scoring game to come back mentally. If anyone can do it, I believe that Herriman High can. I fully believe in the reverse sweep. I love the underdog story. I am hoping to see Game 5 here. But it is a very, very Franklin High School dominant match so far.
Gosh, I love your positivity. I find myself often jaded when talking about Rocket League players because, you know, you get to certain levels and you expect certain things from players. And certainly, at the very least, no matter what level, you're looking for the basics to be done right. And maybe that's something that Herriman High have to look at here. Go back to the basics. Go back to what made you so successful in game number 1, or at least the first 4 minutes of game number 1, and look at your opponents. What did they do right? How did they adapt to counter you? Is it a skill diff? I'm not entirely sure that it is. I just feel like they threw a bit of caution to the wind. They had faith in their abilities. Their faith was repaid, and perhaps if Herriman High are to try and overcome this adversity, it's just going to take a little bit of medicine thrown back in Franklin High School's face to disrupt the apple cart and put them a little bit more on a level pegging as we would hope to see them going into game number 3.
This is looking like more of a Herriman mental fight than a Herriman mechanical fight. Hopefully in this next 60 seconds they can, like I said, regain, come back. Whatever they said last time didn't work, and hopefully they can relock. I mean, that passing play that we saw, that pre-jump, that was probably the best goal of the series so far.
Between making the save or otherwise, we are forgetting key basics in a moment where you do not need to be forgetting key basics, and the worst has come to pass. Squillis, Franklin High School with another early lead. Herriman High have to fight from behind.
I mean, that is just such a devastating goal to lose that early too. That just right out of the reach, all you can do is watch it go in 12 seconds into the game. That is, it's a tough one to watch. I really do believe that their mental is definitely regainable. I think they can come back. I was going to say they're getting quality touches on defense, but that whiff is not going to help them. He only has 12 boosts. He might be able... Oh, that's a good 50 by Don. He's getting that out. He's getting that mid boost. He might have a play here. Hopefully, though, Herriman can regain. There it is, Don. As soon as... Yeah, there's Don. He's gonna tie up this game. 4 minutes left. This is anyone's game right now. I think we're seeing a lot more aggression already from Herriman High in this game.
Yeah. The ultimate enemy of any Rocket League player, no matter who they may be, it is not your teammates. It is not non-existent boost. It is not a lack of mechanics. It is complacency, Squillis. And one must wonder if Franklin High School has gotten a little bit complacent. You've had a big winning scoreline. Yeah, that's going to G you up. But Herriman High has shown that you cannot let up for a minute. One mistake from Coop, And it's 1-1 yet again. MEGGA, it's a flick. NIGHTSHADE, that was a great attacking move. Unfortunate not to see it go through to make it 2.
Even though it didn't go in, we're seeing some synergy here. We're seeing the teammates look at each
what
other
a
and
bump!
talk to each other. That was really close. Xsync just couldn't keep that on target, but that was a beautiful, beautiful demo there. Or sorry, a bump. But that was the makings of another good play. Both of these teams are looking like they're more synergized. Maybe not Franklin High as much as you said. They're getting a little complacent and sluggish, just kind of going through the motions with this. But that means that this is a perfect time for Herriman High to flip the mental here. Even if they win this game convincingly, that'll completely flip the dynamic of this series.
I love that I was gonna say, I love that the clearances are looking a lot stronger as well from Herriman High, but Xsync gets the flip. And I'm afraid that MEGGA caught in two minds yet again. It's never a nice place to be when your back is to the ball and it's traveling towards your net. But you've either got to go for the full flick up, or you gotta try and go for that far post bat away. Neither really happens, and it ends up as an OG. Real unfortunate here. Franklin High School with another go-ahead goal.
We're seeing a lot less, like wide open nets from Herriman this game, though. We're seeing a lot more sort of unfortunate circumstances where you're driving at the ball and it's just going a little faster than you are. We're seeing just a weird touch off of a... Can we get this clear? There we go. Okay, just wanted to be sure. We're seeing a bad touch off of a flick. We're seeing a lot less, more like one-sided goals. I mean, we're seeing a lot less domination in this game, and there's still plenty of time for Herriman High to bring this back.
100%. Oh, Exit going for the double tap at the impossible angle. But how about this? NIGHTSHADE's able to dribble his way past Coop, and Xsync. Oh, Xsync doesn't have to worry because Coop's got a demo in the midfield, relieves the pressure, cuts the attack in half. But MEGGA quickly back on the scene. Up he goes. Xsync does enough to save it. Full commitment. Coop maybe scuffs this. It's wide, but not anymore. Xsync 3-1.
This was just, I mean, that demo saved them and scored them this goal, 100%. I think it was Coop who got dribbled past, like you said, and then went for that demo in mid while rotating back, which is such an amazing move. No one does that enough. You always see them rotate back corner for boost and just avoid the guy in mid. Always demo that guy in mid. It works every time. And then you see they get a scoring drive because it's suddenly a 1v2, and then both of them end up in the net, and then it's just a wide open net. That demo there scored them that goal and saved that shot. Speaking
of... save. Wow. Great read from NIGHTSHADE. Takes it off his own teammate to go sideways, and he's got no boost. And really, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Boost really isn't everything. It's how you use it. It's not how much you have. And if you can, tactically speaking, execute a better play that will be beneficial for your team later on, in the short term at the very least, you're going to be laughing. And I think Franklin High School are going to be laughing as well. Yeah, they were a little bit complacent out the gates, but there's now 1 minute left. They've burned time off the clock beautifully. And 60 seconds left. Herriman and I have to find 2, and that's just to take it to OT.
Franklin High, over the last 20, 30 seconds, done an incredible job of keeping the ball.
Oh, great demo.
I mean, they're, like we were saying, these demos in twos, especially in twos, are so underutilized. Like, if you're out of the play, look for the demo every single time. You will score 99% of the time if you get that, like, straggler demoed. It's such a powerful, powerful thing that a lot of people in twos don't either recognize or don't utilize enough.
Just catches them out. To be fair, they kind of had to. You know, otherwise they're going to be heading out the competition quicker than they entered it, and... well, unfortunately, once again, Franklin High School willing to back themselves. It's a lovely committal of not 1, but 2 players here. Coop goes up, readjusts midair, goes for that near post shot, and 2 players weren't enough to save it. 2-goal advantage, extended to yet again. 33 seconds for Herriman High to save that tournament.
I'm curious if you went to the ball chasing after this match and looked at the total number of boosts collected by both teams. I think Franklin High would have double or triple the amount of boosts collected this game. They've done such a great job of boost management and stealing boosts from the opposing team. And here's just another wide open net that Xsync is going to take straight down the middle. That was just good play. Like, that was a good clear out of corner into a good pop into a better catch. I mean, that's just, what more can you ask for?
Bit of desperation there from Don Mega, and Xing with the cool head. It really is the cherry on top of a cake that is most certainly baked well. Franklin High School then, going to confirm the 3-0 sweep in this quarterfinal. They'll be heading through to the semis, to another best of 5, where they'll be facing the Green Hope Falcons in their bid to try and make it to the grand finals. Funnily enough, this is actually the last series to wrap up, so on the other